Very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi, and I'm glad that you're here with us this fine evening. I'm joined here by my resident guest, Wakili Willis Otieno, the deputy party leader of Safina Party, and of course the potential, how should I call you?
Deputy President Designate.
Deputy President Designate, at least according to you.
No, the young people have told me that on 25th,
yes,
nivae mzuri na niwewe Biblia. Wakimaliza kazi.
Ukimaliza kazi nini yafanyika?
Ukimaliza kazi, they'll be looking around who can take the oath.
On Wednesday, on 25th.
25th.
By the way, I saw that program circulating online with regards to the commemoration of the events of last year on 25th of June. Are you guys really serious?
But it's our demand for accountability. Those lives which were lost, more than 82 of them, it's a day to remember them and to demand for accountability. The political establishment has been given a whole year to account for those deaths. To date, they have not. So it's right for the young people to go to State House and demand for accountability. We want to know, why were these people killed? Who killed them? Where is their justice?
Okay.
Explain to us. Hold people to account. Take them to court. We cannot just wish away those deaths.
So will you be out on 25th?
Of course.
Utakuwa umevaa vizuri.
Lazima kama ibada.
Na Biblia.
Na Biblia.
Then you end up to your games, like the one you played at that time with Raila Odinga.
No. This is for the young people. If the young people will choose who they will administer the oath to, it's not us deciding. So they've just been told, some have been told to wear a suit, you may be a minister. If me, I am carrying the Bible and I'm made the president, the young people decide. You carry your Bible and you dress nicely. It may just land on you.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you expect on 25th.
If the people decide. The people, I believe, on that day I expect the people to demand for accountability and to stand in remembrance to our foreign compatriots.
Of course, that was on a light note. But then, Wakil, now let's get serious here with regards to what is now being planned ahead of what we now know as the 25th of June. Of course, this remains a very significant year and day in the calendar of this country, owing to the magnitude of what actually happened last year during the Gen Z-led protest that actually led to them storming the parliament. And of course, much has been said. But then, on the other hand, the government is saying, look, there are people out here who are actually relying on this in order to cause instability in the country. What do you make of this?
No, as I've said, it was onus upon the government to take action. They've had 1 year. What action have they taken? All those 82 plus people who died, they died in the hands of policemen. Majority of them, bullet shots on their bodies. Others, bludgeoned to death. We are demanding for accountability. They had 1 year to find out what was the cause of these deaths, who killed them, and hold them to account, charge them in court. They didn't. So there's nobody causing instability. When people are demanding for what is in the Constitution, Article 10 of the Constitution, is a demand for accountability. It sets out the principles of governance and the national values. So it's amongst them is accountability. So anybody demanding for the Constitution to be upheld and doing it within the parameters of Article 37, the right to demonstrate peaceably and unarmed, is well within their rights to do so. So these young people, when they come out, they'll just be actualizing the Article 37 right. There's nothing untoward about it. And we will expect the state to provide security to those who come out to demonstrate. Because it's a constitutional value when you go out peaceably and armed to demonstrate. It is not for the state to organize parallel goons to infiltrate and to attack the demonstrators, or for the police to provide their vehicles as cover to these demonstrators. To these goons to attack the demonstrators. That is not in order.
So what is the core agenda of this particular event that is scheduled to take place on Wednesday?
It is commemoration. And in my view, it's a call to account. It's 1 year down the line, and we've not seen any action taken against the police officers responsible for this. We've not seen anybody called to account. we've not even seen an attempt, a feeble attempt, to even compensate the victims. An attempt even just to recognize, give recognition, give reparations to our fallen heroes. That is all that I believe this is about. Demanding for a better Kenya. A Kenya where every life matters. And if a life is lost in the hands of the state must recognize, the state must take action to account for that lost life. Those who are responsible, perpetrators, should be called to account. They should be held in court. It should not just be business as usual, that we lose our people when they are agitating for good governance. The response is for them to be killed. No. That is what the Kenyan people are rejecting. And they are demanding for their voice in their governance to be respected.
There's always been a statement from the government that these demonstrations are actually sponsored. Do you believe that the one for 25th this time round is actually sponsored as well?
They are sponsored by the people of Kenya, yes. It's the Kenyan people coming out to sponsor themselves. And if the Kenyan people are sponsoring themselves to actualize their constitutional right, what is wrong with that? So don't use the term sponsored to try to connote an evil design. No. Those Kenyans who are going to come out, or those who've come out before, they sponsored themselves to come out. Somebody must have taken a vehicle, a matatu, spend his energy even to walk into town. That is sponsorship. So yes, they are sponsored by the people of Kenya in their own ways to come out and to speak. Even just to expend your energy to raise your voice in demanding for a better country. That is sponsorship. Yes, they are sponsored.
The government is talking of power-hungry individuals who are hell-bent on taking, causing chaos and taking advantage of this particular
Why can't
event.
the government respond by providing what is expected of them? Provide security. Why are they hiring goons? And you've seen the goons who have been hired by legacy politicians hiding behind police vehicles to attack innocent civilians. That is what is sponsored. That one you can easily trail. There are videos of the goons themselves speaking in public, praising legacy politicians who've mobilized them to cause chaos. That is what they should be focusing on. Not the self-sponsored Kenyan who comes out to demand for a better country. And when the country is working, it's working for all of us. Not just the demonstrators, not just even the police. It's a better country for all Kenyans. It works for everybody.
Owing to the nature of the past protests that have always turned blood in this country with loss of lives and casualties and property destroyed therein, do you believe that the one that is coming here, are there some sort of mechanisms that have been put in place such that people will be able to exercise their constitutional rights without us going that particular direction?
I do believe that we are going to have a very peaceful demonstration on 25th. Because the Kenyans who I interact with, the ones who've shown desire to demonstrate and to amplify their voices, they are not carrying arms. And I've not seen anybody threatening to carry arms, to do anything. I've just seen Kenyans saying we are going to carry flags, our constitution, bottle of water, and that's it. Those cannot be weapons by any stretch of imagination. So I expect that Kenyans are going to turn out in their numbers and will amplify their voices in demanding for a better country, a country that works for all of us, not just for legacy politicians.
We're living at a time in this country when the line between law and order and anarchy is very thin, especially if we reflect on what happened the other time with, of course, the goons on the streets. Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja was actually accused of being the mastermind behind the presence of those goons in the city, but he quickly said that, no, these are not my goons, I did not actually bring them here. And in fact, he blamed his opponents of the same. What do you make of it? Who bears the biggest responsibility when we see goons in the streets along the police and all that?
The person who bears the greatest responsibility, number one, are the legacy politicians who hire these people. And number two is the police who provide cover for them. Because in the last demonstration, we witnessed the goons in motorcycles, carrying logs and walking right behind police land cruisers, given cover. So we must lay the blame where it belongs. It is legacy politicians and the police providing cover to these goons. The truth of the matter is this: you may not like why somebody is demonstrating, but you must respect his right to demonstrate. And that demonstration can be even that they don't like how you're governing the country. That is their right. And your duty, as a duty bearer, is to make sure that the actualization of that right is done in a peaceful manner. You don't disrupt it. You don't interfere with it. You don't deploy heavy-handedness of the police or hire goons to disrupt that which is meant to be a peaceful demonstration. The violence that we've witnessed has come from legacy politicians and the state using the police, abusing the police to deploy force against innocent and non-violent demonstrators. I've not witnessed civilians attacking fellow civilians unless those who have been paid, the gunzis who are deployed by legacy politicians to disrupt what is otherwise a very peaceful exercise of our constitutional rights.
Are they normally peaceful, actually? Because look at it, every time that these demonstrations are held, actually Nairobi CBD comes to a standstill. Nothing happens. It's about destruction of property, it's theft, it's thuggery.
But look at who causes the violence. I'm telling you, it's the gunzis. It's the gunzis. The young men that I meet on our streets demonstrating for accountability and good governance are largely peaceful. In fact, on many occasions, even if somebody tries to rob another, steal a phone here, you'll find the young people will stop them. They'll apprehend the thief and hand him over to the police. I've seen civilians walk peaceably through police vehicles. They don't attack them. It is only when the paid goons, the gunzis, turn up or the police start using bullets and tear gas, that it becomes ugly. So lay the blame where it is. The blame is with the gunzis and their legacy politicians and the state that deploys the police and allows the gunzis to do the kind of mayhem that we witness. It is not the demonstrators. Our people are very peaceful. The young people of Kenya are very peaceful. And they always chant, we are peaceful. We are peaceful. Because they recognize what is in the Constitution. The right to peaceably unarmed to demonstrate. And to amplify your voice on an issue that you believe needs to get the attention of the nation. And that demand is a demand for a country that works for all of us, not just a country that works for legacy politicians. Kenya has been working for legacy politicians. It is time it works for all Kenyans.
Is it really possible that these demonstrations can be done and can actually take place, but at the same time people, those who are not participating can just go on with their normal lives?
You can go on with your normal life. Who stops you? Nobody stops you. Nobody stops another from going on with their normal lives.
I'm talking about the traders within the town.
They can trade if they so desire, but who told you those traders don't want to demonstrate? Even many of those traders are the ones demonstrating against the economy. Yeah. Okay. They are the ones who are in the front line of feeling the pinch of a failing economy. So even them, they have a right to demonstrate. But it doesn't give the legacy politicians an opportunity to send gunzis to attack their shops. You should recognize and respect everybody's right to demonstrate. And the duty of the police will be, they should just station them along those shops and protect them from the gunzis, if they mean to. But not to send gunzis to attack other people's premises, vehicles, shops. No. That is what
and then blame it on the protesters.
Exactly. That is what we are denouncing.
Let's look at it this way. Of course, Raila Odinga has been at the forefront of some of these mass actions in the past, but then right now he finds himself in a very complicated and peculiar situation where he's on the other side. And he's saying, look, there are times when we should actually sit down, dialogue, and reason together. He's saying we cannot burn the country down, even if we are aggrieved by what the state is actually doing right now. What do you make of that?
I mean, it is Raila Odinga's right to dialogue with the state. He's also a Kenyan and is entitled to all the fundamental rights that all Kenyans have. So that is still in order. But also, the other people who are demonstrating, demonstration is a recognized right in our constitution. So as others dialogue, others can be demonstrating every day on any issue that they feel they want to demonstrate about. So it doesn't mean that you can pursue both routes. They are mutually exclusive. No. They cannot be pursued at the same time. The demonstrators can demonstrate, the dialoguers can dialogue. And each of them will be fulfilling the requirements of our constitution. The fact that others are demonstrating she will not take away the right of others to dialogue. They can dialogue. And also equally, the fact that others are dialoguing does not take away the right of others to demonstrate and to demand for a better country. And as they dialogue, as they are demonstrating, we need to see certain strategic steps that will address the issues that the demonstrators are raising. Accountability. Why are those police killers not in court, for example? If we had seen them in court, we are seeing accountability. We are seeing a responsive state. Then, it even makes the dialogue easier. And the demonstrators will have nothing to demonstrate about.
Okay. So, the demonstrations here are largely led by the young people. What started as a joke last year ended into one of the worst scenarios we ever witnessed in this country, then owing to the number of casualties who are there. This time round, don't you then think that perhaps the government should have done better in terms of engaging the young people and actually listening to them so that we do not witness another sort of...
in fact, there's even a question of dialogue. There's a question of taking action.
Okay.
Start with hold to account those who killed the young people. Just hold them to account.
So you believe that the government has not listened or
I've
done
not
anything?
seen any policeman charged with the killings that were witnessed. That should be the first step. Even if not charged, but at least interdicted, fired.
Okay.
As the investigations are concluding. I even don't understand why more than 1 year down the line, the investigations have not been concluded. They should have been. People should have been charged. That is a one step towards showing people that there is actually tangible action being taken to address their grievances. Then you go to the questions why people are demonstrating. The economy. Is the economy stupid? They need to address that question of the economy. Make this economy work for the Kenyan people. You cannot come an economic system that only benefits legacy politicians at the expense of Kenyans. The economy must work for everybody. Everybody wants to see an equal opportunity to live a life of dignity. But when we have many Kenyans living in penury, then you witness this kind of skirmishes. People agitating for a better country, which is also their right to agitate for a better country, where the economy works for all Kenyans.
Wednesday is here, and the 25th of June, and you people are saying the revolution continues. What's different for you this time round? What do you expect? And
I expect the Kenyan people to exercise the Article 1 right. All sovereign power belongs to the people. And the voice of the people is the voice of God. Vox populi, vox Dei. That is what I expect. The people to amplify their voice and the system to recognize and to respect that voice of the people. I don't expect any killings. The 80 plus is enough. Give them accountability and allow the people to express themselves as required in the Constitution. Don't interfere with the exercise of the right to peaceably unarmed to demonstrate.
But will they listen? Now that is a big problem here.
If they don't listen, there will be consequences. Everybody. If they don't listen, there will be consequences, and everybody must be ready to live with these consequences. I've always told these policemen, we are taking receipts. There is no limitation of action period for criminal offences. These extrajudicial killings will follow you even in retirement as a police officer. As a commander of a police unit, it will follow you even into retirement. You will be charged. So it's upon the commanders to decide. Everybody must live with these consequences.
Let's wait and see whether they'll actually listen. But of course, even before we had concluded the investigations into the unfortunate death of Albert Ojwang, of course, you saw what happened again on the streets with the police officers shooting at point blank range. I don't know what is actually now.
Yeah, the policemen who are captured, the ones who are captured on camera, you're seeing already they've been arraigned.
Of course, they've been arraigned in court.
They've been arraigned in court. That's what I keep telling you. Everybody must be ready to live with these consequences. That was that individual police officer. Even the commanders are not any safe if they don't take action against the individual officers. So everybody must be ready to live with these consequences.
Well, you say you'll be on the streets on 25th of June. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Our team will also try to be on the ground in as much as it's hostile outside there, but then we'll be there to witness and bring the people here up to date with what will be happening on the ground. That we do hope that nobody will lose their life at this point in time, when the young people will be out there agitating for good governance and their rights, so to say. But at the same time, we also do hope that the police will actually do their work in terms of making sure that the protesters are safe and sound, and as well as the property of those in the areas where these protests will be taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Allow me to stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.